It's a good night. Happy to be here. We got Brian Sumner in the house.
What's up?
Woo! So,
I'm
Sumner,
actually
how
going to
was
take
it?
a dab right now, so I'm going to mute my microphone.
Nice.
Uh,
Doing some last minute quick adjustments. Can't tell if you guys are loud because of my headset volume. Can you guys just go testing 1 2 real quick?
testing, 1 2, testing 1 2.
All right, perfect. All right, I just had to adjust that a little bit. How we
All right.
doing tonight? Brian's off doing a dab.
Yeah, so obviously he's doing good. He said he was going to go out and play a little bit of cards, but then decided to come and crash the show with us so we could have ourselves somebody else to talk to.
I feel left out that I'm not doing a dab at Brian's house because he's got that wonderful California. Like he could just he walks into his dispensary and can just buy dabs. That's so.
Well, you know, in this country that's supposed to be free, I guess some of us have a little bit more freedoms than others.
Well, it really blows away like the sneaking through alleys and like dealing with shady characters that I have to deal with. Like when your buddy says, "Yeah, I can get you weed," and then you're like waiting for an hour for the sketchy character to come back with a bag full of seeds.
Some guy named Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah, or T-Bone or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sick of the black market of drug dealing. I actually like the idea of it going mainstream a little bit, even though
Why the hell not? It's not like it's a punk rock band. It's something that everybody uses, and you know what? Our government that's so damn greedy has a cash cow sitting right underneath its nose and just decides, we're so used to the textile, the way that the textile industry is ran for our economy at the moment. We can't shake that whole thing up. They give us too much money. So you know what? Let's just turn around and keep it the way it is and keep weed off the market.
Well, yeah, the thing is, though, that argument about it making money doesn't really add up because the amount of massive money that our government makes off of criminalizing this stuff is astronomically more than
Absolutely.
a legalization program. But then you got to weigh out the amount of citizens in jail and all that stuff. So, I don't know. Criminalizing it seems to be quite a good business move for some states, at least. They get jail time, they get DUIs, they get all sorts of other things. But anyway, did you have any police contact this week? My name is Severin Freeman. I'm from Lehigh Valley Cop Block.
I'm out of Carbon County Cop Block.
And that's Brian Sumner from Fresno Cop Block.
What up, guys? I'm taking a dab.
We were just talking about any contact with police this week. Any cop block, any filming, any...
I cop block 2 nights ago.
You cop block? Did you catch?
Yeah, I spent 2 hours outside of a police standoff.
Oh.
Yeah. I saw that video. That's right.
No, that video's not out yet, bro. No one's seen that video yet.
I thought that was. I saw something that you put out that was like an hour and a half long, and it was. I thought that was the police standoff.
That was my live stream. Maybe my live stream is out.
Oh, okay.
The live stream actually doesn't have the actual police assault on it.
Oh wow, you got an assault tape.
Yeah, it was such a bunch of actually very bullshit, dude. So I guess this dude stole a beer and crashed a car while he was running from the cops for the stolen beer.
Huh.
And so they got a dozen cops and fucking just hung out in front of this guy's house all night, and they just do like I was editing the video the other night. I'm still editing this video so long. I'm still editing it. But they called for this guy to come out of his house so many times that by the time I edited out every third one, the video was 15 minutes shorter.
Oh wow.
And so I realized the key to making this video watchable was taking out all these times this is the Fresno Police Department, rah 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 rah. Basically 2 hours of standing off, and the dude comes out and voluntarily surrenders, and then the cops beat his ass right in his front yard. And right before this goes down, they turn the lights on and shine on the cameras, and then 2 seconds later, rush the front yard and attack this guy who voluntarily surrendered in his front yard.
Yeah, that was not orchestrated. That was just
right.
They practiced that stuff. It seems like
they were like, so we're gonna beat this one. They're like, yeah. What about the cop blocker over there? Nah, just shine a light in their eyes.
Yeah, right. And
so what about you?
That was my...
You filming any cops this week?
No. It's been a quiet week. Once again, I live way up here in these mountains, and cops rarely come by me anymore, especially way out here.
Yeah,
So
but
Oh, that must be beautiful.
you got a pool and you're allowing cop blockers to cool off in that, so that's cop blocker news. Matt has a pool. We are all going. Everyone.
You guys act like pools are like these
you
We're-
should.
unicorns.
We're in Pennsylvania. When the pool opens, it's like a good time out here. You
Oh,
guys,
okay. And we have pools in all our backyards here, so it's like
in California, it's 24/7, 365 pool season.
yeah.
Yeah,
Out here, we got like a good 3 months of
if we're lucky.
weather.
It's like 2 months that's decent, and then a month of just leaves in your pool every day, and you really don't want to go in it anymore.
Yeah.
And then just gets balls cold.
Well, I had some
That's pretty great.
contact this week. I actually streamed my police contact live on Facebook like a good cop blocker.
I saw that you got pulled over.
Yeah, I'm loving this Facebook live streaming. It makes it really, really fast and easy. Like I always have Facebook open when I'm driving around anyway, looking for people to like tip me off about things. So just to be able to hit that button quick it's pretty convenient. But yeah, I was filming them, and they must have not liked it, because when I drove away, they pulled me over, and they said that I made a turn that the city of Bethlehem has ruled that turn is not allowed. So despite your right to travel, despite using a turn signal, and even stopping at the red light and waiting for it to turn green to go forward, they pulled me over, in the process making 2 illegal turns to come get me and give me a $175 extortion note.
Do you have that video to where we could watch it or just listen to it?
It's 10 minutes long. There's really not. I don't know that it's really like radio worthy.
Okay.
Just because 90% of it, I started the stream as soon as I had given them my license.
Oh, so you started it late.
Yeah, so 90% of it is just me and Rick talking, and me talking, answering.
Oh, okay. What happened? Just question, because anybody who does end up coming across this this video, what happened before the camera started?
Oh, nothing much. We saw them coming. I have 100% of the footage because we had dash cams going, so
Yeah.
I do have it all. I plan on releasing it and showing exactly how they set that up. Because first of all, the sign's behind trees, and second of all, there's a group of cops on the opposite side of the road that automatically draws your eye.
Yeah.
I say that they create a situation that causes people to miss that sign. So, and that will be my defense in court, is that they created a situation there that, on top of the trees that are in the way of this sign, caused me to miss the no turn sign.
Gotcha.
I
Good
have,
luck there.
I have dash cam footage to prove that, yes, indeed, I did follow every other law. I didn't just run the light. I stopped, I waited, they sat there and watched me wait at this light with my turn signal on, probably laughing, saying, if he makes that turn, we're going to get him.
Think they played like
I
draw
didn't
the short straw.
I didn't even get fully around the corner before they had flown out and grabbed me.
Damn.
So it was really quick. Like I was. So what led up to it was really quick. They
Mhm.
pulled me over, and he was like right at my window right away.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have my phone in my hand and have him hit me for something else. So
Gotcha.
he just said license and registration. I pulled that out, and then he said my insurance card was expired. He said he's going to hit me for the expired insurance card. So as soon as he walked away, I quickly pulled it up and hit live stream.
Gotcha.
And let everybody know what was happening.
Gotcha. Well, good move. Good thing getting him on camera.
Yeah, and like I said, I had the camera rolling from the beginning of that stop. I always have something rolling when I'm cop blocking.
Yeah.
There's never a time where there's no witness.
Right.
Oh, wow. I'm getting a call from New Hampshire, but that actually might have been Ian. Let me,
Well, we should be going to a commercial break here.
yeah,
All right, well, commercial break it is then.
it was Ian, and it looks like what happened was my other computer just crashed. It just closed on me. All right. I'm
So
gonna.
we no longer live?
No, we are going to be going back live. We're going to cut to a commercial break here in about 60 seconds. But you know what? Why don't we just take the early commercial because we're not on the air right now, and I need to call Ian back and get us on the air.
Man,
Okay.
just get Free Talk Live in here in this chat and just have them stream it directly from New Hampshire.
Yeah, I will. So we're gonna take a commercial break. If you guys want to talk, I'm gonna dip off real quick and call him back.
All right.
I'm going to take a dab again.
All right.
Oh, I got this new, like, pull and snappy wax. It's kind of, like, sticky, and it's not, like, the best. It's not my favorite, at least. Like,
I just saw what was going on. I looked over at the computer with TeamSpeak, and it had set itself. I don't know what just happened, but I'm back connected now. If you want to put us back on, we're on a commercial break. So all right, we'll just come back live. Sorry about that, man. All right, thanks. Bye. All right, we're good to go.
I know you didn't mute your side, so we heard the whole
I know. I was just telling Dio that whenever we have a technical glitch, we give a shout out to Dio because he would always say, "It's the professionalism you gotta love in this show."
Yep.
Well, there we go, Dio. There's the professionalism that you gotta love because for our whole first segment, we were only on YouTube.
Oh.
That, by the way, was not my fault. I had us all connected, and my stupid Windows update restarted my computer again.
You can make that stop, right?
I did. I stopped it from trying to put Windows 10 on it, but it just did a normal Windows update, and it restarted on its own when I wasn't looking at it.
Bastard.
Yes. So we were on the air. We had everything set up right. It was not. It was my bad that when he called, I looked over and noticed the computer was booting up.
Yep.
So all right, I'm gonna play these commercials because we are connected now.
All right.
You shop at Amazon via shop.lrn.fm.
Email is easy, instant, and free, and that can be real embarrassing. Email lacks the eye contact and body language you get in face-to-face conversation, or the tone of voice and other nuance you hear in a telephone conversation. Email is just words, often few words. They're all smothering in spam, so we often reply in terse fashion that's easy to misunderstand. And email doesn't cost you a postage stamp, and it lacks the deliberation time it'd take to walk to the snail mail box. So it's easy to succumb to the "oh yeah" stimulus response trap. When in doubt, don't snap back at snippy messages you get. You may have mistaken the sender's intent. And unless you're sending AOL to AOL, there's no unsend. For more tips on critical communication skills for the way things are now, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Cop Block Radio. We are back.
We are here.
I am stoned.
So everybody out there listening to us over LRN, sorry, we were having some technical glitches, but we are here with you now. So this is Matt of Carbon County Cop Block.
This is Severin Freeman from Lehigh Valley Cop Block.
That was Brian Sumner of Fresno Cop Block, and this is Cop Block Radio.
And we did not have technical issues. The government is taking over all of our computers. Let's just get that right.
All right. Can I have the tinfoil when you're done?
No, seriously. Windows 10, anybody who has a Windows computer can understand the struggle happening right now if you've resisted. The Windows 10 update keeps wanting to restart your computer to force this update to go through. Well, I have it blocked, but that hasn't stopped it from restarting my computer every so often if I don't click a button. So the computer that was connected to the radio feed broadcasting us decided it wanted to try to do a Windows 10 update again. Thank you, Windows 10. That is actually not the first on-air screw-up because of Windows 10. It happened live on the news the one night. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
They were doing a weather report, and the whole weather screen crashed and said Windows 10 is trying to update. But, all right, well, let's get to some of our top stories for the night.
Okay.
One of the stories we wanted to touch on is right out of our cop block. And
Okay.
it was written by Pete Iyer, and it's another update to our groups page.
Oh, cool.
We actually have a number of new groups starting out all around the country. I think it's up to like 250 total groups. We have Brom County, New York Cop Block, Cobb County Cop Block Signal Hill, Palm Beach. These are all just brand new Cop Block groups that are now added to the groups page.
Hey guys, some of you out there have probably been doing this a while. Some of you might be brand new to it, but anyways, on the page, congratulations, and I'm hoping some people are able to find you guys now and get everything through.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I love the initiative. If you are out there and you don't have a local Cop Block group, there is no membership fee. There is no dues. There's nothing like that you need permission to get a group started. We have resources at the copblock.org/groups pages to even help you get your page started and get yourself noticed and get yourself out there. Because the more pages that we have Cop Block related, the more news that we get from local towns. These small towns, the stories don't get out as much until somebody takes notice and starts reporting them.
Yeah.
And even if you don't want to start a group, feel free to jump over to copblock.org/network and just check out the individual roles for Cop Block Network contributors and see if any of those would be interesting or exciting to you, and get on board with helping us spread the message that badges don't grant extra rights.
Absolutely.
Totally. So, Brian, what got you involved in Cop Block? What made you... Was there a Fresno Cop Block before you, or were you...
There was not. And, dude, you know, honestly, man, I think everybody, even like the biggest cop sucker with the biggest cop in their mouth, has had a bad experience with the police. Yeah, I was in traffic court today, just like listening to people talk about like the police, and this one guy got like I guess he was like lane splitting at like 80 miles an hour on his motorcycle, and then the officer was like also lane splitting in like a different lane at 80 miles an hour on his motorcycle. So then he pulls but like because it was a crime for the other guy to do it, he had to pull him over for it. And when he gave him his ticket, the guy said in court that the cop was like, I could be writing you up for so much other shit right now, so just be happy I'm writing you up for speeding, and then just went and got back on his motorcycle and left. But I mean, like, the cop obviously like denied saying that, but I think it's just like indicative of just like who these people are. Like, he did the same thing that the other guy that he pulled the guy over for, but it was only a crime when the other guy did it. And it was really only a crime because this guy didn't think it was safe. But if he didn't think it was safe, like, why was he practicing like the operation of a motorcycle in the very same unsafe fashion that he's like going to extort this man for? And so it's really not about safety; it's just about money.
Yeah.
But what really got me into Cop Block though was when I went to the website and they were just like saying things out loud that like I had never really heard before, you know?
Yeah.
And like that's just exciting to some people. And like the other night when I was out in the standoff, like 2 hours, like obviously like all the police and the action attracted like a lot of the neighbors and people to come out and watch. So I got to talk with them about it. And you know, and like a lot of and like even the kids were like, what do you mean you can say pigs? Like, what do you mean you can say fuck the police? And I was like, yeah, watch. And I was like, pigs, you know, like fuck the police. And they all started laughing, but it was because they'd never heard it before. You know, like to them, this was like a crazy idea that like you can be disrespectful to the police officers. Like you don't have to treat these guys like God. And you could see it on their face, like it was exciting to them to like realize like that they're not like subject to these like uniformed thugs. Because like even as kids, like they see these roadblocks, they see these like big cordons, they see these operations in their neighborhoods, and they don't like the police either.
Yeah.
And they may not have any like real understanding of why they like the police, but when you see people come with flashing lights and guns, and then the result is like taking people away, violence, like you just don't like those people, even if you can't really understand like why you don't like them. You just know they come and do shit that you don't like.
Yeah, I see this every day. It's like it's a phenomenon to me that police are still in action because I see it at every stop I go to. Like not every stop, I can't say every stop, but maybe once a night you see somebody who didn't previously hate cops walk away hating cops because of something that happened. So it's a phenomenon to me that anyone even supports them anymore because you got to multiply that daily across the country. It's so many people daily that are.
Well, I can't tell you how many people I know who have seen that cops do bad things, but still try to sit there and support them because they know somebody who's a cop or they have a family member who's a cop, and they just can't picture them ever being involved.
Every cop out there might be bad, but my dad,
yeah.
He was this good cop. He was that one.
My friend's dad, man, he was a cop, but he used to, let us drink beers when we were underage and smoke weed over here. He didn't care. He was a cool guy. He's a good cop.
Right.
Like, that's...
Real quick, let's introduce our guest. We have a guest that just joined us from Marion County Cop Watch. Are you there?
Yeah, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man.
Just rejoicing and being happy about some things that are happening in my county.
Yeah, we actually had that story on tonight. But real quick, what got you involved on this question? What got you involved with Cop Block, Cop Watch? What was your breaking point?
Well,
this is James Butler from Marion County Cop Watch.
So what happened was I used to watch Pete and Adamo on YouTube back in the day.
Okay.
And I seen the stuff they were doing in Keene, New Hampshire, and but I never really had the nerve to film the police or really get myself into that situation. And then a friend of mine was assaulted by the police department here, and I said,
James, can you tell us all about that when we come right back from our commercial break?
Yeah, no problem.
I'd really like to hear about that. So, be right back with more Cop Block Radio.
Cop Block Radio.
All right, we're out.
Okay.
You guys can hear me fine?
Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear.
Cool.
Is it cool using your real name?
Well, if you keep the last name out of it, I know it's already passed, but
yeah,
cool.
All right. Sorry about that. I forgot to ask before you came on.
No, it's cool. There's been times where Derek has put my full name in the show notes, so.
Oh, really? Yeah, I won't do that. I'll make sure to take that out. So yeah, real quick, Matt and Brian, the story that he's on to talk about is we had it for tonight. Where the heck is it? Is it the San Francisco police chief fired?
No, it's the Marion County Sheriff. Sheriff himself was arrested on 3 felonies.
You know what? I think I had that for stories tonight, and I passed it up.
Oh, it's big. It's a lot deeper and
Well,
from a local level.
We're gonna bump something and talk about it, definitely.
Yeah. Well, we kind of have to. That's what threw me off. That's why I was like, no offense, dude. But I was looking at the show notes and I didn't see it, so I'm like, who the hell is Jimbo?
Does somebody have a link to it that they can send me?
No.
It's if you go to Marion County Cop Watch on Facebook, it would I have.
Is it on copblock.org?
Adamo shared a meme I did, but I don't think the story's on copblock.org.
Okay, that's why I missed it then.
Yeah, I made they wouldn't release. I'll say this later too, but they wouldn't release his mugshot because of police officers have immunity for mugshots, and so I photoshopped him.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They have immunity from. Whoa! Well, hold on. You got to talk about that on air.
Oh, I will.
Whoa! These guys, there's no privilege. These guys will not.
Yeah, will not attempt to.
There's no special privilege out there. These guys will not enjoy.
No, so I photoshopped his face onto another inmate mugshot and posted it on the internet.
Cool.
Yeah, I see that. I'm on your page right now. Do you have a story about it written somewhere?
Yeah, there should be some Ocala.com articles that are in the feed. I have a guy that's on the page, that admins on the page that posts like every 5 minutes.
Well, we're gonna be
So
back in a minute. Before like your night is over, do you think you can just find one and send it to me so I can put it in the show notes?
I can do it right now, but I have to come off of this, off the Hangouts, and come back.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Later or whatever. I just want to. I don't want to forget to put it in the show notes.
No, yeah. I'll send you all the articles and stuff because there's a lot of details that I know that ain't in the news right now.
Cool.
Exclusive.
Bum, bum, bum.
I know. I was
Break
gonna
the
call.
news.
I was gonna call Free Talk Live and talk about it with them guys, but then I was like, no, I'll wait till Cop Block Radio.
Awesome. Hearing it here first on Cop Block Radio.
If you're not listening,
You should be.
If you're not listening to Cop Block Radio, you need freedom.
And puppies.
that's actually not. That's actually the opposite of what it means. Actually, when they're not listening to Cop Block Radio, they're exercising their freedom of choice, which is the love of freedom.
There was a
But they
billboard.
hate puppies.
There was a billboard here in Tampa, Florida, that said for the local radio show, if you don't listen to Bubba Radio Network, go fuck yourself.
Oh, nice.
That's how you add. That's my advertising on my website. Like, if you don't read my blog, fuck you.
All right, we're about to come back. Yeah, we're back. We have from Marion County Cop Block on the line. This is Severin Freeman from Lehigh Valley Cop Block.
This is Matt of Carbon County Cop Block.
I'm Brian with Cop Block Fresno.
And I'm. Oh. I ruined it, man.
Go ahead. Who are you?
I'm James from Marion County Cop Blocks.
What's up, man?
You get a double introduction. You took time out of your night to come join us on the show to tell us about a nice story from your local town. A little bit of justice getting handed down.
Yeah, so this basically started with a guy named Dustin Heathman. The SWAT team came to his house and for a suspended license warrant, and he felt like he was threatened, so he opened fired onto the cops, and he got beat up by the SWAT team.
Let's get first out of the way here. They came to his home armed, pounding on his door for a driver's license issue.
No, they didn't even pound on his door. They yelled at him through a bullhorn, come out with your hands up, with snipers in the trees and SWAT team at the front door.
For what kind of driver's license issue? Like, did he steal a car and drive it through a house?
No,
Yeah, right.
he drove his car to a truck to work with a suspended license.
And then I'm speechless.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, this guy's a big gun freedom advocate, and but he's a solo guy, so he doesn't like doing stuff with groups. So he kind of got under the radar with me. I didn't really know he was out there doing a bunch of activism, but he.
They know he's big on the Second Amendment, so they send all the troops to go serve this little.
Yeah.
That's
So-
creepy because I'm thinking about it last year. I mean, I didn't know, but I was driving for 3 months with a suspended license, and oh my God, I would have lost my shit if I looked outside and there was a whole damn SWAT team with Charlie in the trees, fucking point sniper rifles and shit.
Yeah.
You've only been driving for 3 months without a license?
Yeah, I didn't know, dude. I didn't know.
Oh.
They didn't send me any
I haven't had a license in years, man.
Yeah, I don't have one now for years.
All right, James. So they serve this warrant. What happens next?
So he fired upon the officers with an AR or AK, and when they finally got into his house, they didn't kill him. He threw the gun down, gave up. They fractured his eye socket and almost ripped his ear off. So that got
Tyson his ass?
yeah. So that got pushed back because he fired upon officers. Nobody really made a big deal about it. We did, but mainstream media did not. So that went on. Then the same officers that beat him up beat an unarmed black guy up in Marion Oaks, 5 officers. All 5 of those guys got arrested and and 4 of them pled guilty. 1 went to trial and got off of the charges. So that just shows you
These 5 officers also were involved in another incident, all 5 of them?
Yeah, all 5 of them.
And who arrested them?
The FBI indicted them.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So beating up an unarmed black guy got the FBI into the door of the sheriff's department, and then they seen this other thing going on with the guy with the gun. So when they asked the sheriff about it, the sheriff's like, I don't know anything about this. I don't condone any of this behavior. Well, he got caught lying about that because there's video evidence saying he did see them beat the guy up. He did condone it. So they got him on 3 felonies. The sheriff of Marion County, Chris Blair. They got him on 2 basically perjuring himself, and then 1 misconduct of office. Now, following that, he gets indicted. He gets kicked out of the sheriff's department. Then the 2 majors that are in the high ranking of the sheriff's department get suspended. And my inside source tells me they'll be indicted by the end of the summer.
Oh, damn.
So
This department, who's left?
Yeah, they're cleaning house.
Yeah, no one's left. So listen, so you have like a sheriff, and then you have a deputy sheriff that's the second-hand man under him. His name is Frank Latour. Fred Latour, Frank Latour. But Latour is his last name. He's on vacation while this is all going down. He comes back from vacation and sees that the sheriff has been indicted. 2 of the majors are going to be indicted. He says, I retire. I'm out.
Deuces. He's like, nope, fuck this. He's like, maybe I could get out before the storm hits me.
Yeah. Well, he knows that somehow that shit leads back to him, and he needs to get while the getting's good.
Well, it does because the other
patrolling this town right now. Who's writing extortion tickets? Nobody.
No,
they're still the police department.
Oh, they're still
freer and safer.
So the governor of the state of Florida, Rick Scott, appointed a U.S. attorney investigator as sheriff. So he's in there basically, and these are the same guys that are indicting these folks. So they're basically doing an inside investigation on them and finding out a bunch of different stuff. It's so funny. Today I was at my kid's graduation, and a deputy walked up to me and said, "Hey man, I like your videos." And I said, "Well, how's the office now?" And he's like, "Man, we feel so much relaxed now that he's gone. We feel like we don't have to lie to our families anymore about what we do." So hopefully it changes. I mean, still, that's cop's shitty for doing things.
That shows you how deep it goes, though, with the thin blue line bullshit. Like, even when they hate somebody, they can't do nothing about it because it's fellow brother in blue.
It's not that they can't. It's just that they won't.
Right. That I agree with Brian. It's not that they can't. It's that they won't.
Well, and I think it's also that they're scared. I mean, you know, they always say that police officers or law enforcement are the bravest people in the world. They do things for us every day. But you know what? Be honest with you, they're the biggest cowards out there. They don't even stand up to their own bosses. You know, like I work for a private business, and if my boss asked me to do something that was unmoral or against what I believe in, I would tell him to go fuck off. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I would dare him to fire me over it. You know, so I feel like that's the difference between us normal, hardworking guys and these deputies. You know, they always say there are some good deputies out there, but the thing is that good deputies might have good intentions in their mind, but when they get there and they put that badge on, they have to have that attitude in their mind. And their mindset has to be like this: I have to be intimidated because I have to show my force. No, you don't, bro. Like, if you ask me to do something, I'm more than happy to do something if you come to me in a nice manner and respect me. I'm going to do that more than you telling me to do something. I'm a grown man, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to deal with that. And I try to be peaceful as I can, but, I mean, I stand my ground. I mean, you're going to take me to jail, take me to jail. I beg you. If you're going to take me to jail for something, do it. Don't pussyfoot around.
Before we came back from the commercial break, you were mentioning something that I wanted to talk about on air. The sheriff, somehow in your state, have a shield law where if they get arrested and their mugshot taken, it can't be released.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's a shield law or if it's in statute or what it is. I just know that under the Public Records Act, they are exempt from their photos being released to the public. Like, so if one of you guys got arrested, I could go and do a public records request and get your mugshot.
Yeah, people post my mugshots all the time. They use it to troll.
Yeah, so you cannot do that if they're law enforcement. or a firefighter or a public official or any of that stuff.
What if they get indicted afterwards? What if they're
No,
found
they're-
guilty and they're in prison and they're considered to be bad guys?
They are protected for life when that
Wow.
happens.
Damn.
Yeah, we had some sheriff deputies down in South Florida that pulled off-duty deputies leaving a bar getting drunk, pulled a gun out of the window of a car and accidentally shot a Walgreens pharmacy, and they got felony stop, pulled out of their car with ARs pointed at them, and they basically didn't go to jail.
Yeah. Those
So
other guys were cops. It's cool.
yeah, and Sheriff Blair, you know, as soon as he got arrested,
The sanctioned drive-by, guys. Don't worry about it.
yeah. And the thing is Sheriff Blair, I got some inside people that work for the sheriff's department. Like, I'm pretty sure every cop block or every police academy guy should have some inside people inside the sheriff's department and police departments around here. But he texted me and said, hey man, it's kind of BS that, if you got arrested and came to jail, you spent 6 hours in booking, even if you had a bond and already bonded out. He spent 7 seconds in booking. And I'm like, or 7 minutes in booking. He just did his photo.
Guys.
What now?
Well, James,
Hey guys.
we're cutting
Yeah.
to a commercial break, James. Thank you so much for joining us and telling us about this.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Y'all have a safe night and be safe.
You
Hey,
too.
you too,
Come back anytime.
All right, bro. Peace.
Later.
The police are the most
back with
privileged group
Top
on the
Block
planet.
Radio.
Cop Block Radio.
Bam.
All right. Matt,
Y'all.
do you want to bring in the next story?
Yeah.
Can you
Which
do
one are we doing?
the NYPD cop film? This one?
Yeah. Man, I swear to God, you always have me do stories I did the week before, did on the show, on my Monday show. It's like, no.
I didn't. It's not up.
Alright, give me a second.
Radio.com and the monthly newspaper, News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc. As in Creative Commons.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's post pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that tenth of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
This is your Robertson Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. In early trading Wednesday, gold is down $5 at $1,222 per ounce. Silver is 11 cents higher at $16.38 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $448 US. Yesterday's big drop in metals, prompted by dollar strength against other currencies, has created a great buying opportunity. To find out more, give us a call at 800-874-9760 or visit us online at rrbi.co.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amped is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
Hey everybody, we are back with Cop Block Radio. This is Matt of Carbon County Cop Block.
This is Everett from Lehigh Valley Cop Block.
I'm Brian Sumner with Fresno Cop Block. Cop Block Fresno. I say it different every time.
So we're going to now jump to a story up out of New York City, actually Harlem, where 26-year-old cockroach Rizal Martinez saw a dirt biker going across the Beltway. Now, fast forward to the end of this, and it's ending in a housing development right in front of 17-year-old Eric Royal and 19-year-old Jenico Harvey and Kaylin Adams. Now, they decide that they see this altercation and pull out their cell phones like they're supposed to do. Now, granted, they held it straight up. They didn't turn it to the side. You know, that's something that's always got to be brought up. Turn the cameras to the side. It just looks better when you post it. Just saying. It's 2016. Come on, guys. But anyways, they decide to film, and that's when the cockroach decides to take his gun out of the holster and start yelling at them to back up. And apparently witnesses around, as well as these three, felt that the officer was going to shoot if they didn't immediately back up. Now, the dirt biker that was chased down, his name was Deshaun Betway, who was 21. He was actually arrested and charged with assault, reckless endangerment, obstruction of government administration, and resisting arrest. So far, that's basically all that's come out of it. You know, there's the recording and everything, but as of right now, spokespeople are saying that he's a mild-mannered, good cop, and that although Internal Affairs is looking into the incident, he's going to be put on modified duty, which means that he was stripped of his gun and badge, but he has not lost his paycheck. So do you think? Yeah, he's a mild-mannered good cop.
On children.
He's just jacked as shit. Because this guy, when you look at the video, I mean, he looks like he's going in some roid rage. Like it's a big ass dude, and he's just wrestling this guy, pulling guns, screaming at kids. But he's mild-mannered. Just, you know. Nobody spit on his burger. It might kind of look like Farva and Super Troopers.
Well, what was the what would his motivation have been for like pointing his guns at these kids for filming?
No idea. Like what goes through your head? I mean, and really, what my whole thought process is.
Did he keep the gun drawn? I haven't seen the video.
You haven't seen the video?
No. How long is the video?
It's not long. It's about. Yeah, can you play it, Severin?
Let me see.
Yeah, and then actually, as they were taking him out of I forgot about this, but as they were taking him out of the housing development, the cop actually turns, and there's just this dude standing there, and he just sucker punches the dude. I completely forgot about that. He just sucker punches a guy who's just standing there, a bystander, on the way out the door. Like, you really do want to think about it.
No, this is a different NYPD chases.
Dirt biker, and yeah, that's the one.
That's the one? Okay.
That's the one.
All right, let me. I'll share this with everybody. The LRN listeners can't hear.
So we'll describe it to them.
So we'll talk over it and tell you what's going on. I forgot how to share my screen for a second there. There we go.
Bush League. No, I'm kidding. Full screen that.
It's the professionalism.
I'm trying to full screen for you. I can't.
There we go. All right. Well, it's a minute long.
Oh, shit! They trying to get this nigga.
So.
Shit! That's real. Shit gets real, ain't Avenue.
So this guy's like yelling. What happened? That it just cuts inside.
They got closer. They probably stopped it. As you can see, it goes to Instagram. And so they probably stopped the post and then ran over. Look at this armbar he's got on. That's an illegal armbar that he's got on the dude. And then turns and points a gun at these kids.
Huh.
Now watch this. Wait. Watch this. Boom! Just sucker punches, dude.
Who the hell was that? That was just somebody.
That's the same cop. That's the same damn cop that pulled the gun. He gets up, walks out, and just sucker punches this dude. And then here's my question, because this has to be brought up. Just watch this midget here.
Yes.
All right.
I believe he's supposed to be called a little person.
I mean, no, but here's my thing. All right. Any other person gets that close, leans in, kind of like, "Yo, what are you doing?" You know, somebody's gonna get up and they're gonna tackle and taser him. But this little person, you know, comes over, takes a look, and it's like, "No, we got it. Let's leave him alone." I think little people are immune to cops.
Oh,
it's a theory, but I'm throwing it out there.
You realize I have to go through the hate messages this week.
I can't wait.
Oh, we're gonna get some letters this week. All right, Matthew Taylor, P.O. Box.
The New York police, like this whole thing started with the dirt biker, right?
Yep, it starts with the dirt biker.
See, the NYPD, their commissioner, Bill Bratton, it really doesn't like people that operate two-wheel vehicles in the city, and he considers them nitwits.
Yeah.
And I just did a piece on the NYPD. They stole some bikes, some dirt bikes and motorcycles.
A shit ton. I saw
I
that.
don't know, 50, 100, a bunch. It was reported. The news reported it as like a few dozen, but when I saw the video, I was just like, "This is like everybody's bike in the city."
Yeah, this is like a compound of bikes. Yeah, I saw that shit.
And they ran them over with like bulldozers.
And live streamed it to be cocky. So
right. They live streamed to their Facebook page, and
so people could sit there and watch it and be like, "No."
But like this incident might have been like the unintended consequences of like Commissioner Bratton's like two-wheel vehicle like war on motorcycles, you know?
What a dick.
Because obviously like they're not fans of people who ride bikes, and so now we see like last week they crushed a guy, like everyone's bike, and this week they're beating some guy up.
I don't understand how they can just take people's property and destroy it. Like that's not any legal. It's not any legal piece of property. Like I understand that they can take our weed pipes and fucking break them or do whatever that they do.
But that's the same thing, man. You know, it doesn't matter. Like it's property is like there's no such thing as like illegal property. Like you can own stuff and people can disagree, like not like that you own it. Like I just got into this over that stupid fucking dumbass target that guy made, where you like it's like your ex-girlfriend who looks like a zombie and you shoot her and she bleeds. Yeah. And like everyone's like tripping out, and I was just like, well, I think the bottom line is like, would you want a bunch of cops to come over to my house and take me to a cage for having this? You know, like that's the baseline of it. And so like if there's like a weed pipe, would you want a bunch of cops to go to someone's house and take their pipes from them?
No.
Would you want someone to go to someone's house and take their guns from them? No. Would you want someone to go to their house and take their motorcycle? No.
No.
But the police do it, and they claim they're doing it for safety. But the idea that they're keeping us safe from a motorcycle or something is asinine. It's ridiculous.
Well, my question is when did we ever step up and say, please, help us protect ourselves?
We did.
Exactly.
So back to this video of this cop beating this guy, but like this is what happens when you prohibit stuff. This is what happens when you make laws. Laws lead to abuse. Laws lead to violence and force. And normally it's instituted by the people who are making the laws.
Yep.
Well, there's new laws every single day. I'm just
Right.
I can see they rationalize stealing certain property because the property has been used in an illegal way. Meaning, like, okay, a weed pipe is legal until you smoke weed out of it. That's how it is in my state, at least. You can walk around with a clean pipe all day long; they can't touch it. But as soon as you smoke out of it and it smells like weed, they will take that, confiscate it, and they have the reasoning that it's been used. But what is their reasoning behind stealing your dirt bike?
Well, they could take it if you put like
driving it on the road or something. They could just say
illegal aftermarket parts, like anything they want, man. They could just like, oh, this bike has an illegal aftermarket part on it. You're not allowed to operate it anymore. We're going to seize it. You're riding without a helmet. You're riding without a license. You're riding without some sort of arbitrary bullshit.
People pay thousands of dollars. That's their property. Like,
that's the exact problem.
Mine. That's my vehicle. That's my transportation. You can just take it and run a damn bulldozer over it? Screw you, cops. I hate that. Like, I'm mad right now. I can't believe that they can rationalize that. Well, we're going to be right back with more. We're going to have a nice little conversation about all the dumb things people say.
That's a big
See you soon.
accusation. I am going to go grab my ass an energy drink.
Competitive pricing at Amazon, but now you can get a 25% discount on nearly everything you need to live. I've just given you a huge raise, and all you have to do is claim it. You go to saveitpurse.com and open an account. Do this right now. Don't wait. Then you fund the account with Bitcoin. I know this sounds unbelievable, but at my house, we saved as much as 45% off of a new item on Amazon. This information is worth you changing the way you do things. Go to saveitpurse.com right now, get signed up, and cash in on the huge raise I'm offering you. 15 to 25% off of everything at Amazon through saveitpurse.com. It's saveatpurse.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
More Cop Block Radio is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Gerald W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, May 25th, 2016. Silver is trading at $16.29 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,228 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $451. Antiwar.com reports the Minsk peace accords, which were supposed to lead to a resolution of the East Ukraine civil war, have not made much progress in recent months, but Russian and Ukrainian officials on Tuesday pledged to intensify cooperation in talks brokered by Germany and France. The deal was to grant increased autonomy to the eastern oblast of Donetsk and Luhansk, and that those oblasts would end their rebellion. Little progress has been made to that end, with intermittent fighting on the frontier. Ukraine Ukrainian officials have complained the Russian-backed rebels have not followed through on ending their rebellion, while the rebels know that the Ukrainian central government did not deliver the autonomy and blocked them from holding elections. German officials say that Tuesday's talks centered on the possibility of holding those elections, though beyond the general pledge to increase cooperation, it is not clear what, if anything, this means for the possibility of having those elections anytime soon. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the man who authorities say launched a racially motivated attack on a historically black South Carolina church a year ago, killing 9, faces 2 upcoming criminal trials, both of which are now seeking to put suspect Dylan S. Roof to death. U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch said Tuesday that after great consideration, her Justice Department will seek the death penalty during its federal prosecution of Roof. A federal grand jury returned a 33-count indictment against Roof last year, with authorities accusing him of committing hate crimes, weapons charges, and obstructing religion. Lynch said in a statement on Tuesday, following the department's rigorous review process to thoroughly consider all relevant factual and legal issues, I have determined that the Justice Department will seek the death penalty. The nature of the alleged crime and the resulting harm compelled this decision. Prosecutors outlined their reasons for seeking capital punishment in a 7-page court filing on Tuesday, claiming that Roof, an accused white supremacist, demonstrated a lack of remorse for the shootings, specifically targeted the church to magnify the societal impact of the rampage, and used animosity towards African Americans as a central motivation for the attack. The trial is expected to begin next year. The South Carolina state government is also planning to try Roof on murder charges, and it too will seek the death penalty. 9 people were killed in the attack on the Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina. News of the Justice Department's decision was well received by at least some of the victims' relatives. If you're fed up with the government running every aspect of your life, but you're not listening to the Lava Flow podcast yet, what's wrong with you? Go right now to thelavaflow.com/listen. The Lava Flow podcast, channeling the flow of information to the libertarian, anarcho-capitalist, voluntarist, and agorist community. Subscribe today using any podcatcher at thelavaflow.com/listen, or just go back to sucking up to the government. The Lava Flow podcast, striking the root every episode. Reuters reports lawmakers in San Francisco voted to uphold the sanctuary city policy on Tuesday, almost a year after San Francisco was flung into a national debate about immigration after an undocumented immigrant was charged in the fatal shooting of a woman. The Board of Supervisors unanimously approved legislation that upholds the city's policy on limiting law enforcement from providing assistance to federal immigration authorities aimed to apprehend or deport individuals. The Free SF Coalition, a collection of immigrants and minority activists and legal aid groups, called the ordinance an important step forward for San Francisco's immigrant communities. San Francisco is one of dozens of U.S. cities with sanctuary policies which were rooted in shielding Central and South American refugees from deportation in the 1980s. A second vote on the city's ordinance is scheduled to be held to affirm the policy next Tuesday. Mayor Ed Lee, who has previously supported the policy, will have 10 days to act on the ordinance if it passes next week. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
According to a groundbreaking study on anxiety disorders published this week in the New England Journal of Medicine, researchers have discovered that feelings of anxiety can be completely resolved as long as people think about them real hard.
After studying subjects with mild to chronic anxiety disorders, we found that the best way to overcome mental stress is to isolate the root of the anxiety, analyze it from every possible angle, and then think about it nonstop until it completely disappears.
Researchers worked with numerous subjects in the middle of high-stress scenarios and said the key to overcoming anxiety is to start by focusing on a minor problem, list everything that can go wrong in the worst-case scenario, and then repeat that list in your head 200 times. After anywhere between 3 to 6 hours of perpetually torturing yourself over things outside of your control, All feelings of anxiety will completely disappear, and you can finally enjoy the remainder of your day.
This is the Onion News Network.
Yeah. Welcome back to more Cop Block Radio. This is Severin Freeman from Lehigh Valley Cop Block.
This is Matt of Carbon County Cop Block. And that's Brian Subner of Fresno Cop Block.
Of the Dab Central.
What's up, guys? I'm back. Sorry, I didn't realize my mic was muted.
It's all good. So, we are jumping into the second half of our show. So you had some fun conversation piece that you wanted to go over here, Severin. What was that?
Yeah, we had it coming up. I was gonna do the penny thing first.
Hey man, it's your world. We're just living in it.
Yeah.
Lead the way.
During the break, I pulled up the penny story I had forgotten that I had mentioned.
So you're talking about Brett Sanders?
Yeah, Brett Sanders.
Oh, dude, that was hysterical.
An activist out of Texas, I believe, named Brett Sanders. He's well known. Did not an original thing by paying his fines and pennies, but I would say
not even an effective.
But I would say he did a.
His presentation was by far superb.
Definitely superior to some of the past videos that have gone out about.
Now you've done a penny.
I made a penny video, and I felt shame. I was dwarfed by this video. I had a little bag full of pennies. This man brought in two.
Yeah, he brought in 2 buckets, and.
You hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. Does Ian hear us?
Back to the Brett Sanders story. Brett Sanders brought in 2 Home Depot buckets that he customized.
They said
taxation is theft, I believe.
No, it was extortion money.
Okay, extortion money.
Yeah.
And then he walked into the county clerk's office, or wherever you pay fines in Texas, and he dumped them both out on the counter, and then told her to mail him a receipt and walked out.
Now, didn't they turn around and call him?
I have the video here, and I wanted to play. I wanted to play the video. We could talk over it because, like I said, LRN listeners can't really hear anything, and there's not much to listen to anyway. The beginning is him making a call to his bank to get, I think it was 170 or
225.
Oh, okay, 170 is my ticket. That's what I'll be calling my bank for. I know it was $225. He has some dramatic music with a pile of boxes and boxes of pennies, and he smashes them open.
People are so kind to do this in pennies, though, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, if they really wanted to be assholes, why would you just do pennies? Like, get $225 of various different currencies. If you really want to be an asshole about it, I mean, just go full way. I mean, I don't see this, like Brian was saying, as an effective means in blocking.
The reality is, like, it doesn't even jam up the system. It just pisses off a few people.
That had nothing to do with it.
Josh wrote a really good article about it.
Well, yeah, we're actually gonna be talking about Josh's article after we watch this. Because I wanted to kind of discuss this because I'm in favor of this activism, and I do like that you guys seem to be on the opposite opinion. I think this is. So what's going on now for the people who can't see this is he has painted these 2 Home Depot buckets. He took a good amount of time to paint them black and then stencil out the words policing for profit and extortion money, and he spray painted those on each one with the pile of pennies that he just unwrapped by smashing them. And now he's using a shovel to just pile them in with the wrappers and all into these buckets that he intends to pay his fine with. Jump ahead a little bit. He goes in, he takes a number, he walks up to the counter without any bucket. He tells them to pull up the ticket. They say, okay. He said he has to go get the money. He goes out to his car to go get the money, and he takes out the 2 giant buckets that he struggles to carry inside, brings them to the counter, and dumps them totally out so that they're pouring all over the floor.
Y'all can mail me the receipt, too.
And he said, you guys can mail me the receipt, too, and walks out.
Just mail me the receipt.
They're trying to call after him, but he just yells, just mail me the receipt. You know my address. And he walks out with his 2 buckets.
Peace out.
Throwing out peace signs as he drives away in his truck. 4 hours later, it shows that he gets a phone call. And that phone call's contents are them calling him to say he overpaid by, I think it was like 50 cents or something, and he can come get his change at any time.
Yeah,
Says like and subscribe after that.
Like, okay, I get that there's some. Because people have all different ways of doing activism and whatnot, but I guess, at some level you can have the argument if you really want to that, anybody who's a part of the system, fuck the system, which, okay, I get that, but at the same time, how effective is it to take one county clerk who's not going to be doing dick, but her job that's not really going to do much to jam up any system and just dumping pennies for them to count? Okay.
Well, they're not even going to count the pennies.
No. Yeah.
They're just going to put them in a coin counter, and it's going
to
tell them how many were there.
Ademo says it perfectly in his article that he wrote about this. While those of us that see this monopoly of force and nothing more, we try to think of creative ways and to encourage those to partake in the extortion racket to reconsider their involvement or make it time-consuming process. After all, you're going to waste our time. We might as well waste a bit of yours too. Yeah, it may not make a huge difference, but when I did it, I didn't do it anywhere near that level. I didn't have the balls to do it to that level. So when I did it, I didn't get.
Well, I don't understand why this is a ballsy move.
Yeah, I mean you're still paying.
Because you're saying fuck you back. You're not going to.
Because you're still at the end of the day.
You're going to take your money. You're giving them your money, but you're going to make it as difficult as possible for them to pick it up.
But that's why I don't really understand why this is so ballsy. You could go in there and give them $200, or you could go in there and give them a ton of pennies, and
you're still at the end of the day giving that money.
You're still ponying up the money, and I think a more effective version of activism and standing up to the state is when Ademo went to traffic court and told the judge it was none of his business how much money he made, and that he could fuck off and throw him in a cage.
Exactly.
And guess what the judge did? The judge threw him in a cage. But guess what Ademo didn't do? Pay any money.
Yep. And I think that is absolutely a more effective way. One, if you really want to fuck with them, don't give them more money. Make them spend money to try to get money out of your ass. Make it more expensive for them to do it, because then they're going to sit there and go.
Not everyone has the luxury of spending a few days in jail. I'm faced with this choice coming up. I have a $170 ticket, and I've already told my wife I probably will take the jail time.
How long is the jail time?
Probably a day or two.
Probably a week or two, actually. We're in Pennsylvania.
A week or two. Come on, man.
You'll be
there's no way they're doing more than $50 a day.
I think that they're doing $30 a day in PA, actually.
Yeah.
That's obscene.
Yeah, so I think it'll be a week or two.
How much does it cost to house somebody for 1 day in jail?
They charge you $110. They charge you $110 in restitution fees whenever you're in there. So if you take the jail time, all I can say is that you'll take the jail time for $172, but then you'll pay your fine off in there with the $172. But while you're incarcerated, they're going to turn around and charge you $110 a day in restitution fees for actually housing you. So you're going to turn around.
How much time have you spent in jail?
Me?
Yeah.
2.5 weeks.
I'm just being real, because I've spent a few days in jail myself, and I've never been asked to pay at the end of my stay. Well, here's the bill for the.
There are jails that do that.
Yeah, up here, Northampton County, they absolutely do.
That's like a East Coast thing, I guess.
Jail, and I've never been charged to be there, so I don't know. I've been to New Jersey jails, and I know that they charge an admission fee, and when you get money on your books, they steal it from you. They take it right off your money on the books, so they're guaranteed to get it unless you want to
Should
live.
go to the admission fee.
Yeah, and it's $50. And the next time you come, it's $100. We just cut to a commercial break. We'll be right back. But yeah, they multiply it each time by $50. So if you've been locked up like 10 times, it's like $400. And
It doesn't make any sense though.
They take half your commissary each time that you. So say somebody, I go in and I owed them for the last 3 times I've been there, and I said, "Fuck you, I'm not paying you." Well, then if somebody throws $100 on my books, I only get like $50, 50, yep. 40, 50 bucks. They take the rest of it. Yep.
Yeah, I've heard of them like if you go like indigent, like they take your commissary to like pay off certain little things, but I've never heard of them like making you pay to stay.
Oh yeah, dude, Pennsylvania
there was
definitely
several
make you pay to stay.
In there for child support that had been there like 20, 25 times or something that just didn't care. They would go in for the weekend for child support. That they said they would never accept money on their books because they owed like $10,000 to the jail. It's insane, and the jail doesn't care because they just take it from you when you're sitting there.
Right, just find somebody in the inside and hook them up with their books.
Here's what I don't get: how they can legally get away with it because they've already been paid once for your presence there.
Hey, they're gonna try to suck as much money out of you as possible. It's an industry.
Yeah.
Severin, it's an industry.
Oh yeah, the prison industry is a booming business. They cannot build those buildings fast enough.
No, sir.
If they didn't need a town approval to put a jail into a town, they would have check jails in every single small town built up to the max. I forget who said it. It might have been you, Brian. Somebody said that might be their goal, is to just create an American jail, and everyone's technically in jail.
Aren't we already there?
Yeah, that's what I was about ready to say. Aren't we there?
I think it was actually Derek that said it a couple weeks ago.
I read an article that somebody wrote, and it actually kind of defined Manhattan as a jail. Because if you think about it, it's built up like an island. A lot of people who are there really don't ever want to move out of Manhattan. They feel like that's where they belong, and it has a lot to do with the fact of it's just the way the whole place is set up. And this. It was a really good article, and I'm really dumbing it way the fuck down. But I'll see if I can't find it. I'll shoot it to both you guys because it's a really good read.
Well, I mean, I definitely as the prison population, like the police state increases, obviously you're going to see cities become more prison-like in their design and in their evolution as well.
Absolutely.
And I think a big factor in that is making tiny homeschool.
Yo, while we're still on break, Scott sent me a video today, and they have now started teaching, like, the story of, the official story of 9/11. They have started teaching that in schools now. Like, there's a video of kids sitting there, and they're showing them the videos from, like, Fox News and shit like that for 9/11, then teaching them the whole, like, these 19 terrorists and all that shit. It's like phase 2 of making sure nobody turns around and investigates it anymore. One more generation, everybody who.
Dude, that's not gonna fly.
Conspiracy theory.
That's not gonna fly because every kid in every class, it's a mathematical. It has to be like a mathematical probability now.
Yeah. But it'll be like Bush did it.
There's one kid in every class whose dad knows that it was fucking the government,
Yep.
Or whose mom knows, or whose older brother knows, or something.
They'll be like, no, fuck that. This is what really happened.
As soon as that shit's homework, it's a no-go, dude, because that guy's like, Bush did it.
Yeah, you're right.
He's gonna go back to school asking questions like, my dad says Bush did it. My dad said it was in conjunction with Saudi Arabia and Israel. And there's a lot of fucking crazy shit going on. And where's the plane that hit the Pentagon? And what about World Trade Center 7? And blah, blah, they're just going off,
We're back from our commercial break.
Sorry, guys.
What an awesome rant. I was just totally agreeing with him there.
Yeah, guys, sorry. Right as we were coming back, I dropped this bombshell of this video that Scott Marshall of Oath Accountability Project sent me earlier today. And it's the fact that they are teaching the official story of 9/11, the fact that the 19 terrorists hijacked all these planes and all that shit. And we were saying, there's going to be, Brian was saying there's going to be one person in every class who has a family member who's like, nah, fuck that. That's not what happened. You know, it was.
It's going to be more than one person.
Oh, absolutely, because I could tell you,
You said it perfectly in the past. We all have a computer in our pocket. These kids live on these things. They know the truth more than their parents.
Dude, the second they try to cheat at home on their homework by using Google to figure the answer
Oh my
to 9/11,
God, it's going to be epic.
It's
The
over.
memes.
It's over.
Can you
Like
imagine
this-
some of the shit that some of these teachers are going to post with like this tearing it down, or kids? But I like. There's a child who lives in this house upstairs, and by the time he hits school where they're going to be asking him these questions, I know for a fact he's going to look at him and be like, "Yo, but jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams." Like I know it because I say that shit all the time.
This is the first generation of kids that have memes that can teach them better than their teachers.
Yeah. Don't get Brian started on memes.
Oh
I
man,
hate memes, dude. I literally cannot stand memes.
I don't know, but
I used to love memes. Don't get me wrong. I used to love memes, but now I just I feel like for my own like growth as an individual, I gotta get the memes out of my life.
that might be where you're at, and you don't need a meme to teach you anything because you've already woken up. But to some people, a meme might be that breaking point that set.
That's
What the fuck?
But that's kind of the problem with where we're at right now.
Exactly.
People aren't picking up books anymore. People aren't doing their research. They're waiting until somebody flings a photo with a catchy phrase on it at them to spark their interest in something. When there's so much other shit that's going on that people should be actively researching what is told to them on a daily basis from the screens that they look at.
I'm so happy music like people haven't figured out how to embed music into a meme yet. Like where the second you see it, some catchy little music starts playing in the background too. I know that's technically a video, but you know, just the way on Facebook where as you're scrolling, as you come across it, bam, there's music. The second that shit happens, society's gonna fall apart.
No, but I agree we should be looking into things and researching things and learning things on our own. But the people that choose not to do that, we're in a movement right now. Don't we still need
the people that choose, we leave them behind. The movement, dude, it's an evolution.
Anybody's that's willing to help. We're fighting a massive monster. We need anybody's help. I don't care if you're dumb and you can't read. If a meme teaches you that you're being fucked, then let it be done.
Hell yeah!
I'm sure for some people it's a start, but if the meme is where you stop, which is for so many that's where it stops.
Yeah.
They have a meme library, and each meme teaches them a little bit more about the subject, but it isn't an actual education. And so
some people's news.
But this isn't even Cop Block related.
Yeah.
This is the Cop Block radio show, not Brian hates memes.
It's okay. We go a little off the rails sometimes.
Although, dude, I secretly look at the status Jesus meme sometimes.
You still gotta have a little bit of a fix out there. Yo, let me get that meme.
They're impossible to get away from entirely. I've literally been unfollowing everybody except for there's a select few people that can share a meme and get away with it. But I've just been unfollowing in a search for people that don't share memes, but the memes are never ending. It's the cancer of the internet. And if anybody else hates memes, go check out Cop Block Network contributor Josh Hotchkiss' website, Advanced Ape, and he has some excellent writing on why you should hate memes as well.
Check that out.
So were we done talking about Brett Sanders?
No, we aren't. There's a whole other side to that story. We haven't talked about a lot of that action yet. We keep getting sidetracked.
Yeah. So let's go back to that.
All right. Well, before we left off, I think we were on opposite sides. We just watched the video, but I think that this is. I think that the ideal thing that you could do if you're charged money is, first of all, try to clog up the system by resisting it every step of the way, filing as many motions, filing as many things. I even file motions saying that I don't want the cop to come in uniform. That's a regular motion that I file because I don't feel he should represent anything higher than me in that courtroom. He should not be allowed in a uniform. They always deny it, but it's one more thing to clog the system. File as much shit as you can, and then if you lose and you're not able to go to jail, why not pay in a bunch of pennies? Why would I hand you cash under any circumstances? If I can't go to jail and my only choice is being extorted, so now I will give you the money under duress.
How is it not your choice? You can still tell them to go fuck themselves. If they sit there, they're like, well, this is what your fine is. Go fuck yourself.
If your option is
then you do have the option. I mean,
yeah,
you have the option, and I'm not gonna lie. I've paid fines too. Like who hasn't sat there and at the end of the day paid a fine? Like we're not saying that you don't have, that you're damned if you do, but what we're saying is don't sit there and masquerade like there's no choice. You've got a choice every single time. You've got that choice that if they sit there and they say, well, there's $175, pay this, and you go, well, you know what? No. Okay, they're going to send you to jail, so that's your choice.
Any activist that signs a guilty ticket and goes in and pays their fine with their credit card does not deserve the time of day. They should not be calling themselves an activist. They're fake.
That's bullshit, bro. And the most. That's such bullshit, bro.
Yeah,
because you don't pay your fines in pennies, you're not an activist. I've never paid a fine in pennies.
I said any activist that goes in and doesn't resist the process at all doesn't deserve the time of day. But any activist
what do you mean?
Says, yeah, I'm guilty and pays and doesn't plead not guilty, doesn't try to fight it, doesn't try to pay in pennies.
So every single thing that an activist does, even if they know off that for a fact, they did do what they were accused of doing. You're saying if they don't fight that process tooth and nail, they're not.
If you don't plead not guilty and at least try to fight the process, try to fight the extortion, then how are you going to call yourself a fighter of the?
Because, dude, look, I learned this kind of the hard way because I used to believe exactly like you, like resist to the fullest, and I've kind of learned through my own personal fucking arrests and trials that like it's you versus the state situation.
Yep.
And you have to make the decisions that are gonna be best for you, regardless of whether you think like it diminishes your credibility as an activist or like you should resist the wheel more and like blah blah blah, like throw the shoe, like clog the machine up. Like I hear you. I 100% agree with you. But that only works in the grand scheme of things. If 4 people in America are saying never take a plea and they're the only guys that never take pleas, well, guess who's going to be the only guys in prison? Those 4 guys that never took pleas, and now there's nobody doing never take a plea activism because they're all in prison. And so it's like very similar. Like I've taken pleas, and like they're not always like when I'm signing a plea, I'm like, yeah, this plea is the greatest decision I ever made. Like in my heart of hearts, I'm like, damn, I'm getting fucked over here, but like this is the best thing for me at this moment, and this allows me to be more effective in the long run.
See, to me, it depends what's on the line. If you're charged with jaywalking.
Well, of course, man.
Do everything under the sun, literally, and still walk away with just a fine.
Well, that's kind of what we were saying, dude. Like, you had to explain that a little bit more because you made one hell of a blanket statement.
I said anybody who gets a ticket, meaning a ticket, jaywalking, speeding, things like that, and does not try to resist that system for victimless crimes does not deserve the time of day. We're going to be right back.
Nah, man.
That's still a blanket statement.
It is a blanket statement. I'm sorry. If you get a ticket for jaywalking and you say, fuck it, it's just jaywalking, and you don't try to resist it at all, then, like, what are you even fighting for? You're giving in to the... This is the small extortion that leads up to the big extortion.
Sometimes you have to pick and choose your battles in this situation, dude. Like, okay, listen, you could... Let me break this down for you.
Here's why I make these blanket statements, because I'm so sick of walking into courtrooms seeing 100 people that should have pled not guilty and just doing it just because it's easier.
Right, but now, Severn,
half the people in the courtroom know better, but they're just doing it to get it over with.
Dude, I've just spent a day in court. I hear you, man. But like, whenever I see people taking pleas in court, I always ask myself like, what can I have done to like influence that person personally? Like that person, he's in my town. Like he's obviously in a close proximity to me, within a square mile radius of whatever. Like how could I have influenced that person, exactly that person, to have not taken a plea here and have pushed this to trial and then have saved themselves a criminal record, a fine, a time in jail? Because that's like the real. I think that's the real question. Is like, what are we do? Like, we're really upset that people are taking pleas. Like, we're really upset that like the system is just like this never-ending revolving cycle of like down the line, people go to prison.
I'll tell you my personal experience way lately. I was just in DUI court and watched like 10 people take a DUI plea deal because they had weed in their system, and had like why are people just saying okay and not asking for their trial? What they hit you with when you
Because it's
accept that
easy.
plea deal is so much worse than if you just go to trial. You might do a month in jail, big deal. They take you by the balls for like 5 years now for a DUI plea deal. They don't realize it. They make it sound so sweet, and it makes me so sick to see that they can win like that. To watch that courtroom, just every single person tuck tail and say, you know what, I don't even want to look at my evidence. I'm just going to say I'm guilty because you're offering me this deal.
Well, that's how it works. So the system, like the only reason they can offer those deals is because they need to keep the system actually running, and that's why it only works if everybody doesn't take a plea. Because as long as people are taking these stupid pleas,
5% of people just said, I want my day in court.
right? Maybe about 5%. That's probably all you would need. And that's why there's very few things that I don't take to trial, man. And
Hell yeah, I just
most
took
of the
that
times,
DUI to trial and won.
see?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand. I took my shit to trial and I won. So, I didn't take a plea.
The fact that you were in trial for a DUI in itself, though, is just like a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the freaking the story of that. But I mean, they knew they had that case.
If you're one of these people that I'm talking about, you would have pled guilty just because it would have been easier to get it over with.
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody out there is ever gonna freaking plead guilty to a DUI when they were as sober as I was. But
I don't know. It just gets frustrating seeing the mass number of people that walk into the front of a courthouse every day and walk out with a criminal record and never asked for any due process.
those people have yet to open their eyes. That's just what it comes down to, man.
I guess that's why people that do the jury outreaches and things like that are so important.
Well, see, and here's what I gotta say, man. Like, those people, we can't, like, I know that we sometimes, like, really get on copsuckers, and we really get on people who are uninformed, but we've got to, like, change our mindset from turning around and talking to them like they're less than, and start educating them and getting them,
We are back.
What's up?
So, Matt, you think it's not as good to be hard on these people?
Well, sometimes, we should, some people we should be hard on because they're just idiots, and that comes down to, like, your copsuckers. But at the same time, these people who have yet to open up their eyes and stuff like that, instead of talking down on them, they might not be as educated as we are, or think that this is the best way that they can go about it. So rather than talk down to,
dude, they might just entirely support paying jaywalking tickets,
Yeah. So instead, those people, you can personally, if you want to, write them off. But I don't think we should be talking down on these people. I think we should be trying to educate them and bring them into the fold, in the sense of knowledge that they have the right and ability to fight this stuff if they so choose, but still give them that ability without bringing this to them in a negative way. Because you bring information or anything to somebody in a negative way, and they're just going to write you off. And I think that happens so much in this movement that if you don't have the same exact mindset that we do, well, then we're like, fuck you. You should be on our page. Not everybody gets shit as quickly as others. So instead of fucking expecting everybody to be on the same page as us, bring them to that page. Don't fight them. Educate them. That's all I'm saying, man. We can't be attacking people. We can't be sitting there making blanket statements like that. That's not where we're at. That's not what this movement's about. This movement's about bringing everybody together and educating them, not alienating other people. That's what cops do. Cops alienate people, man.
I stand by my statement. If you don't at least try to fight, then you have no room to complain about anything.
All right, dude. Just let me know when I can have the shovel back.
All right. Well, let's
on to the next topic.
Yeah.
I guess we won't. Severin. Let's actually let Severin talk about paying in pennies. Why do you think it's such good activism? Yeah. What makes this such a great tool to the activists to pay your fines in pennies?
I think I explained it. I think it's a tool. It's not the tool. It's not the answer to your problem. I said I think that you should.
But how is it a tool?
Anyone should try to resist to the very end. If
Well,
you're
it's not really resistance though.
I consider that major resistance. I'm not going to hand.
No, not at all. You just you waste the time of the people at the counter. You waste the people at the time in line behind you. You annoy somebody who was never involved.
Here's my question: What difference is paying?
They are involved. How are you going to say they're not involved? Like they're just.
Did the lady at the window give you the jaywalking ticket?
The lady at the window takes people's extortion money all day long and smiles at them.
Right, but did she write you?
Writing the ticket.
Okay, but here's my question then to you, Severn. What's the difference between paying them in pennies all in once than, let's say, spacing it out over months and months and months at minimum payments? I mean, that's still just as big a pain in the ass to the system as it's more of a pain in the ass to the system in my mind than paying them all at once in pennies. I mean, it equates in my mind to being the same exact thing.
I think if you're gonna pay,
just might as well pay.
Why not just pay, and like while you're paying the lady, you just be like, hey, look, I was jaywalking. Like, you may not have anything to do with the fine, but like here you are taking the money, and I hope you think about like all the people that walk in here every day and are forced to give you their hard-earned money from the profit from their labor and from their efforts because somebody else thinks that they crossed the road at the wrong time. And here you are, when you accept that money, you just perpetuate a system of innocent people being forced to be extorted. And then you can like plant a seed that like maybe the money that this lady is accepting on a daily basis from everybody that she sees isn't clean money, and maybe over time she'll quit her job if having to deal with that too over like enough time. She'll be like, well, I don't want to really do this anymore because I know this money comes from all these people who are barely getting by. You know, they've already been working hard enough as it is, but now here they are paying $40, $80, $100, $200, $300 for tickets and fines that are for just like victimless bullshit that somebody else decided was a good idea.
Well, I
but
coming from there, like just trying to.
But then you come in with a bucket of pennies and you dump it, and then that lady has no more thought in her head other than fuck this guy and his liberty activism. And so that bank teller will never think about where this money came from and why this guy's paying. Brett didn't even take the time to tell her why he paid in pennies. He just came in, asked if they took exact change, dumped the pennies, told her to mail him a receipt. The lady had no thoughts other than like, this guy's an asshole.
Yep.
And he didn't there was no dialogue there, and there was no points made other than like, if she saw the video, it would make sense because like Brett was on the phone with the bank, he was making the thing, he was giving you dialogue and like narrating along the story up until then. But if you're the bank teller and some guy just like shock bombs you with 2,000 fucking pennies, like, or 20,000 pennies, whatever that was, like he just becomes the biggest dick on earth that day. And
I'm saying if you want to be that dick, I've been there where I want to be that dick. I don't care. You want to take my money, I want to be a dick about it.
Then be a dick about it. Space those payments out to a monthly payment and walk in there every month with a fucking bucket of pennies. If you're going to be a dick, be a fucking dick about it. Do it in the worst way possible. Don't just, at least pick it up to the highest notch. If that's how you got to be, then just do it to the fold. But
so you're totally,
I just don't.
You condemn anybody that does this.
I'm not condemning it. I just think as if this is what we're trying to do, and make points, I don't think we're making good points if we're walking in there with pennies and dumping it, because all that's showing to the masses who don't know who we are is just, oh, these guys are assholes.
Well, no, here's like the one real positive thing I saw from like the first penny video I ever saw was like, hey, that's a great idea. I should pay my next fine in pennies, because it looked like fun and rebellious, and it gets people interested in resistance, I guess. So that's like, it plants a seed. Like, I guess that's cool. But like the most important part of like paying a fine in pennies comes from like the social media attention that comes with that. Yep. And then people get to they get the messages that like extortion is like paying for these victimless bullshit is extortion, and like this, that, and the other. And so it's like a two-edged sword kind of, where like you piss off the person at the counter, but then you also have the opportunity for like something like Brett's video, which has been like ripped and gone viral on multiple different Facebook pages that are like anti-government, like anti-police, whatever, blah blah blah, pro-freedom, liberty, blah blah blah. And so I guess like people have been like awakened to the idea that like maybe they should stop paying these extortion rackets, and maybe that like this is extortion. But I seriously hope that not everybody starts filling up buckets with pennies and just like going to their local city like
And
office
dumping
and just
them.
like dumping them on the thing because like.
Yeah, like if you want to pay in pennies, like there's no need to dump them. He took those buckets and he wrote extortion money and policing for profit. He could have taken those buckets, put them down, and said, "Here's your money," and walked away. Because then that's actually more of a point. Because as they're taking the money out of there, they're taking money themselves out of a bucket that says extortion money. I mean, that sends more of a message than just dumping it and walking out of the place with your message in your hand that they probably didn't even see.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that being a.
And so like
I think that makes more of a point.
I think the cons in this type of thing definitely outweigh like any pros, and like the pros are real simple. Like you get some social media accolades, and but you can plant the seed that like this is like extortion, and that you should resist this without dumping thousands of pennies.
I think it's a great illustration on how much money they're taking from you. It's not. I don't necessarily think the act of dumping pennies makes a difference, but the act of showing how much money that is, 2 giant buckets full of pennies, that's a lot of money for a small infraction.
Well, it's only a lot of money because you break it down to the smallest denomination possible. I mean, if I took half cents and then I took $1, that'd be a pretty big dollar, wouldn't it be? It'd be like 200 half cents.
Yeah.
And so it'd be like a big pile of pennies. It would look like a lot of money, but it wouldn't be. And it's like I play poker, so sometimes I'll make a smaller bet with a lot of chips, so it'll look like a larger bet. And so it's just the same thing. Like it's like the money looks like it's more.
We'll be right back with more Cop Block Radio, our final segment. After
Cop Block Radio.
Cop blockers. Innocent until proven guilty.
Oh. Now we're superheroes. We have a superhero theme.
I don't know, guys. I just think if I want to pay if I want to pay in pennies, nobody should give me shit for it because that's how I'm choosing to pay. If I want to feel like I'm being a dickhead that day and that makes me feel powerful.
Well, it's
a great illustration, and it is resisting a little bit. It's like, a little more resistance than handing them your credit card and having them swipe it and walking out peacefully.
I personally think it's like way more effective to just like stamp like taxation as theft all over a bunch of like $1 bills, and then give them like 217 $1 bills that are like permanently emblazoned with the words like taxation as theft. Like
that's another idea.
Because like that those bills have to be disseminated, and it's like I guess they could watch the money, but the chances are they're not going to.
Yeah.
And so it's like I think it's much more effective than to like instead of like dumping a bunch of change all over the place and making a mess. Because like if in their minds it's all legitimate, right? So like let's flip the paradigm. Somebody legitimately owes you money, and you go to pay them, and you just dump a bunch of fucking pennies all over the place. Like you'd be really fucking pissed, huh? If I owed you like $500 and I was just like, fuck you, man, it's all in pennies, and I just brought like huge buckets over and just like dumped it in your front yard.
Yeah, I'd punch you in the
I'm
head.
like, find it, bitch.
I'd punch you in the head, dude. That'd be so fucked up.
So like in their minds, it's all legitimate, and this government vehicle is allowing them to like this is money that is like supposed to be collected for like the violations of like living in this peaceful society. Like to me, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It seems like a lot of violence.
Here's my question. I got a question. At least if you want to do something like this, why not shake it up a bit? Where does it say that you have to pay them in U.S. dollars? Like, why not go in there with some fucking like euros or some shit like that?
I think they don't. They only accept U.S. dollars. I'll be right back.
U.S. currency, man, because we're in the United States.
Fuck.
So you have to like it's like some places take American money, but that's just because like we're such a backed currency all over the world. We're the world currency, like the world reserve, I believe. I don't know too much about U.S. dollars though.
Yeah.
They're kind of worthless to me. I almost prefer to like have all my money in chains, just because like it's metal and I could probably use the metal for something.
Hey man, the U.S. currency isn't really even fucking the U.S. currency anymore. It's the fucking petrodollar, man. It's all oil
Yeah.
and
Our
and a
you know what really makes
fabricated gold reserve.
you know what really makes the U.S. dollar valuable?
Oh.
The United States military. Because anybody that wants to quit using the U.S. dollar has like this like invisible gun that's really actually a very visible gun, but it's not in their backyard yet.
Yeah,
but it will be if they want to drop the dollar.
They just post up like right outside the border, like
We're
"No,
here
for
thinking
training
about dropping the
operations.
dollar.
Yeah, we're here for training operations, but we brought like 20,000 of us. Just don't worry about anything."
Yeah, the threat of the world's largest military is what makes the U.S. dollar valuable. It's what makes pretty much anything that the U.S. government does valuable. Any promise they make, or like any deal that they make, is like, you will accept this.
Yep.
For our valuable military.
We have good guns. We'll gladly persuade you.
Dude, I saw like the greatest quote ever is like, how does it go? War is a guy that makes $20,000 a year firing a missile that costs $80,000 to make, and a guy that'll never make that in a lifetime.
Yep.
It's true, like.
Yeah. We're back.
All right, welcome back to Cop Block Radio. I am not the host.
Brian, cracking us up.
So war is dropping a bomb on somebody.
Yeah, war is a bomb, an $80,000 bomb fired by a guy that makes $20,000 at a guy that never makes that in his life.
Yeah.
If you really want to know like the realities behind like war, just get on Netflix and check out the movie Dirty Wars. It's all about JSOC's covert operations in Afghanistan, Iran, and Iraq, and it's pretty disgusting, man.
I mean, we like deal with cop block and like that level of politician, like state, city levels. You're talking country level politicians, and the corruption there is just so beautifully. It's scary. I don't even want to go there. I don't want to go into that world of activism trying to fight that kind of beast because there's just no winning. The military. You want to talk about brutality going unpunished? The military.
Right.
Yep.
We're in the final segment. What are we doing right now? Where's the topic going? We're still split on the decision on whether pennies is activism, so I think we're just gonna leave it be.
Yeah, I mean we're
do your thing. Like here's what, do your thing, man. If you find it to be effective, then be effective with it.
Here's what I want you to do when you hear this show. What is your opinion on that? Why don't you come on the Cop Block Radio Show Facebook page and send us a message? Let us know what side are you on? Do you think or do you think it's a waste of time?
Also, any of you guys out there watching, unfortunately it's not up, but you guys also out there watching can jump on the Q&A here on the Google Hangouts and fire us a question over here if you have anything you want to talk about. I know we have a short little bit of time left, but if you guys would like to fire in your opinions, we would love to hear it.
I have a question for you guys.
All right.
Why is Cop Block as a name so widely hated and distrusted? What the hell did we ever do?
Well, we question the status quo.
On the
I got a question for you, Severin. How long have you been following Cop Block?
I've been a part of things for I think I'm coming.
No, not how long have you been a part of things. How long have you followed Cop Block? How long have you known about the idea that badges don't grant extra rights?
I found out about Cop Block and started Lehigh Valley Cop Block within a 3-month period of time.
Wait,
so,
like this?
Okay, by how long ago?
When did it?
A year ago.
About a year ago?
Coming up on my year anniversary in June, I think.
So I think this would be a better question for somebody who's been. I've only been around for about a year too, but I've actually followed the website for at least 3 years, at least since 2013.
Well, I think I'm going on about 2 years now.
And there was a lot of as you can imagine, when somebody says something out loud for the first time, like "fuck the police," like why was NWA a hated group? Because they told the truth, right?
Yeah.
But they said shit that people didn't like either. They said shit out loud for the very first time. And when you are ahead of the curve, and when you're saying stuff, that's just like I said at the beginning of the show, what drew me to Cop Block. They were saying stuff out loud that I had never heard.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, when you say things out loud that people have never heard, like the people who are so ingrained in their like previous like dichotomy automatically lash out. And then we're also in like a heavily propagated like area where people are obsessed with like law enforcement culture and military culture, and our video games portray law enforcement officers and soldiers in like very like positive manners. And it's very rare that you find video games that actually portray like law enforcement culture as it is, or like military culture as it is.
I mean, I'm talking about the Cop Block name in general, though. Like, it carries so much stigma, even with non-cop lovers. Here's a recent experience of mine. I shared in a local group that we just talk about local issues. I shared a story that was local about a cop that was in my area that was I had written for Cop Block, but I had gone over all the same things that the local media had. I had shared the Cop Block version, and without even reading the article, 10 different local people said Cop Block's nothing but trash, it's nothing but propaganda.
It's because we slam dirty cops.
Yep.
And we slam them hard.
But the same information is on 10 other sites. Why aren't they saying the 69 News, which is my local...
Because the 69 News also sits around and puts out fluff pieces about people who adopted the hurt kitten. You know, they have other things to distract you from the fact that they sometimes talk about dirty cops. Cop Block, on the other hand, only talks about dirty cops. So if it's such a controversial thing that people aren't sometimes ready to hear, instead of actually paying attention and opening up their eyes to what's going on, they decide to fight the information and just think everything's not real.
It's called cognitive dissonance, and it's when like the reality clashes with somebody's like pre-held belief, and then they can't get over the fact that like what they used to think is false now, and it causes them severe mental discomfort.
You guys both run Cop Block related Facebook pages. How often have you gotten the comment that we lie in our articles?
You know, I mainly focus on my own personal Facebook page, Brian David Sumner, and my Fresno Liberty Movement page. Dylan runs the Cop Block Fresno page more than I do. I don't even know I'm an admin anymore. And that's not like anything to do like any personal beef or anything. That's just like how it worked out.
No, I mean, well, how often?
But I get
told that your article contain lies. Like I personally only print things that I have looked into myself. I've made I've made one or two mistakes where I thought something had happened that I misspoke. But
people call me a liar. People call me a liar because I omit stuff. But like, dude, if I omit something, it's not because like I'm hiding it from you. It's because I don't think it's pertinent like to the actual story. Like if a guy robbed a bank 10 years ago, I don't think that matters if a cop shot him while he was in the middle of a mental escapade, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So like if I omit that he was a previous bank robber, I'm not doing it to like make the guy come out like as like an upstanding citizen. I just don't think the fact that he robbed a bank 10 years ago had anything to do with the fact that a cop shot him that day.
Right.
And so it's like, but now I'm a liar because I didn't call him out, because I didn't slander the guy that was killed, because I didn't drudge into his past and start trying to hang him for being a bank robber and for having made mistakes in his past. I'm a liar. But really, it's just like I omitted some information that wasn't really relevant to the fact that a cop killed this guy for no reason.
What do you think about the stereotype that we're all criminals? We all carry a criminal record and we have a grudge against cops.
Well, I do have a criminal record.
Yeah, I think most of us do have a criminal record. Some of us only have a criminal record because of cop blocking, and some of us have a past. And what does that really matter?
But here's what's up: it's not until you endure the system that you learn to hate it.
Yep.
And so if you've never been arrested, and you don't know how shitty it is in a jail, you don't know if you've never had to deal with a cop, you know, if you've never been abused by a police officer, then you don't know what that feels like. Like if you've never had to deal with this stuff, then of course you're gonna think it's exactly like what people tell you. But that's why they say, oh, you only hate the cops because you're a criminal. Well, no, I hate the cops because they violated my rights. I hate the cops because they kidnapped me out of a park for no reason. I hate the cops because they punched me in the face. I hate the cops because of this. I hate the cops because of like the systematic injustices I endured at the hands of their brutal system. But you've never endured these, so you don't know what I'm talking about. So you just think I hate the cops because I'm a criminal. But then you look at what I'm actually been to jail for, and it's like stupid shit, you know?
Yep.
Like a failure to appear, like multiples of those, and like a bunch of other stupid shit. And here I am getting ripped off to cages because I didn't want to show up to like your stupid monkey day because I had better shit to do with my time.
I've been to jail for driving under the influence, which is widely looked down upon. But you know what? I didn't crash and hurt anybody. I was pulled over, and one of the times my car had actually broken down, and I was standing next to it waiting for a tow truck. So those are my huge crimes against society. And one of my other ones was defending myself in a fight, and I spent more time in jail for that than anything else. And I ended up getting all the charges dismissed on that case. So where is the stigma that we're like this horribly...
Well, that's the stigma. We've all been to jail. We've all endured some type of, you know, and like someone like a Damon went to jail for like dealing drugs. And some people are going to look at that like, yo, you're a drug dealer, and they're never going to be able to get past that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, you'll be a drug dealer for life, but it's like,
I look
all that guy did was just like sell some stuff. Like, you go to the store, you're doing the same thing that he's doing.
Yeah, I don't...
And so it's like, it's really dumb that like people are just unable to rationalize like the difference between like what is legal and what is right. And like we've understood like through like a lot of systemic injustices and just like through our own like exploration and understanding and like our own research, like that do no harm is really the only law. Like anything else is just tyranny. If what my actions aren't harming another person, then like I don't care if you agree with them. I don't care if you find them controversial or deviant. Are you a victim because I'm smoking this joint? Are you a victim because I'm having sex in the doggy style position? Like, you know, like, are you a victim because I'm doing stuff that you don't agree with? Are you a victim because I'm making live streams of me jerking off? Like, you might not like that I do this stuff, but it's like, are you a victim because of it? And if you don't like it and you're not a victim, then just shut the fuck up and go away and don't enjoy it. Don't be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but the people who like are so confused on like what is right, and they want the law, right? They want the law to like keep them safe. But the law is never there to keep you safe. The law is just there to like throw you in jail for doing something someone else doesn't agree with.
This is the end. This is the end.
Yeah, we just cut out. I let them talk right up until the end. Everybody knows who we are. But for the YouTube feed, this is Severin Freeman from Lehigh Valley Cop Block.
This is Matt of Carbon County Cop Block, Oath Accountability, and Cop Blast podcast, found on Monday nights at 9:30 p.m. on YouTube.
That guy's hating cops every day of the week. I'm Brian David Sumner with Cop Block Fresno. Check me out on YouTube at Free Fresno, and make sure to check the People's Media, the Fresno People's Media. And I'll see you gentlemen later.
It's been a great talk tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Peace.